Hey, it's me, Big P. I wanted to do a day one update and just go over the early leveling process and the setup I have right now as I'm finishing up the campaign. Passed out around like level Act 8 after a bit of a longer playtime than usual. I usually would be finished between the campaign between like 6 and 7 hours, but I actually am doing the League mechanic a decent bit. I think I'm done with it now that I have the Oath of the Magi, and I'm kind of realizing that you're just kind of learning how to min-max the League mechanic, where it's good, where it's not. It's definitely the sort of mechanic that you want to run after you got a juice character, because it can make things very difficult. I'll go into it after as we're running this zone, but overall, I would recommend not running it if you need to like fight a boss in there or something. Let's just run through the zone. I'm just running through zones and doing the campaign and stuff. I don't have my Frostblink set up right now, but basically I leveled with cold skills being Frost Bomb, mainly for the exposure and big effectiveness of added damage. Like I said in my video going over what we're going to be doing with this cast on crit. I definitely want to try one of the new Frost Bombs. I didn't have great luck with my... what are these? The new Transfigured gem drops I got. They weren't the ones I wanted. Oh, I already have that. Okay. I think I died somewhere here in like Rage Quit last night. I was like falling asleep. I didn't stream at all yesterday because the early leveling process is really boring. But I RMT'd myself a 3 Chaos Ghost Wraith that had some decent rolls, as well as a Crown of Thorns. Oh, we got to do Tuition, I guess. We'll do that. Gear is very basic. Once we get to the next waypoint, I'll go over it right quick, but let's just do a quick little touche. Immune to cold damage. Let's really try to not press that one, huh? Just get some of this stuff. So I'm using a Spell Echo and Spellblade. I'm actually only on a 3-link and a 2-link, but the amount of flat damage you get from Battle Mage is really helping it out. You're a little gem starved because of the way that we're running whatchamacallit, the Oath of the Magi. There's just some like specific leveling tech that you just don't use sockets or skill jump socketed in your boots for speed. And for us, especially since we're scaling flat damage off our energy blade, you know, we have a really sizable, this without energy blade, I mean, we'd have 5k effective. I'm not sure if it's effective hit pool because of, you know, how it's all working, but either way, so providing a huge amount of flat damage. I mean, like, don't go off your tooltip, but like, that's a nice tooltip I got for Act 8 with 3 links and stuff. The gear is still coming together. Luckily you get to kind of skip the weapon portion of gearing because you're using energy blade. I think at least for the first steps, like this into a cast on crit build, I'll be able to gear up. I'm just really a little concerned about the prices of everything it takes to put together for the stat stacker. Like even on a timetable of like a couple weeks, there's no, some of them we just don't know, you know. We gotta see. You gotta, in a trade league, lots of stuff can be up in the air, so you just kind of gotta wait and see what happens. This layout is making me upset. Speaking of layouts and upsetting stuff, I think the well, not really upsetting, it's just the League mechanic I think has a chance to feel bad if you're not kind of deliberate about how you're going to approach it. And by that I mean it's kind of reminds me of Delirium, how it starts at where you enter the zone, which is good because you kind of want to set up your map, but beyond that, it's a sort of thing where you want a map that you can fully clear when we're talking about how we're going to be farming it in the late game. If Beach is still on the Atlas, I think that's what I'm going to go for early. It's just it's not the densest map, but it's a very simple map that drops a good card that will just be easy to farm completely, because it's not like Sentinel. It reminds me of Sentinel a bit, the League at least, because it's like a situation where it empowers enemies in your map. It is technically an in-map thing because it powers up the enemies in the map and boosts their loot and stuff like that. So you want to have a build that can take care of that properly. The last thing you want to do is, you know, not be able to fully take advantage of a League mechanic or clear the League mechanic. But I mean, we're gonna get into. I'm definitely rolling. Let's put it this way: I'm rolling a Magic Finder again. Big fucking surprise. Definitely gonna be a great league for it. And we'll have to see how what goes on. I'm really missing Frostblink. I had to take Frostblink. I had to take my movement skill out because I wanted to do this to double the Ghost right here. But it might honestly be a bridge too far. It might not be necessary. And now I gotta go all the way back here. Otherwise, yeah, what else? I guess I didn't stream yesterday. I'm gonna go live all day today to kind of cover the more interesting, juicy bits, the final campaign, clearing up my third lab, getting into maps, and just at a more traditional pace. I know Lance, I haven't watched him. I haven't watched much other streamers. Kind of just passed out as soon as I finished whatever I was doing. And like I said, the progress has been slow because I have been kind of exploring the league mechanic a bit. I think now I'm at the point where it's like, okay, I got the first point that's very good for leveling. That's going to carry me to the point where I can even use Cyclone and cast on crit setup kind of early. The 30% move speed on top of the 25 I have on these like okay boots, like I mean, you really kind of want to keep your gem slots, you know, at a point anyway where you're flexible when you're leveling. So you know what, just think about what you really need and drop them and get the 30%. It's like leveling with 7 league steps, but like on your first character. It's incredible. Let's just quickly mouse over everything. 50 to it. Oh, look at that nice. Leave a like for the nice even number there. Pain attunement with Crown of Thorns. Obviously, we're not getting the low life power or whatever thing yet, but it's okay. We're just using it for the big flat ES. All the rest of the gear is nothing special, just random stuff I'm picking up. Although we did drop an early mark of submission, which is going to be nice while we still are dealing with resistances. Once we are cast on crit, we'll be ignoring the resistances for both the cold and the lightning damage we're dealing. Maybe fire too. Again, still a lot of stuff up in the air. I did level with Ice Nova, Spellblade, and Unleash. I guess you can level with Ice Nova. I leveled with Frostbolts as well from like step 1. And then into Frost Bomb. You know, you could try different things. I just didn't want to run Rolling Magma and Flame Wall again. Every time I level Inquisitor, it's Rolling Magma and Flame Wall. And I actually have played a full Rolling Magma build as an Inquisitor. So I've rolled enough balls, okay? I wanted the other balls. So this with Unleash is really nice. It kind of is like a panic button. You can kind of reposition and just blast. And then Spell Echo. I thought Unleash with this would be good, but it doesn't work with Unleash. Spell Echo leaves you 2 Frost Bombs. I don't know if it's actually that good, but it looks kind of cool. And it's like chunky damage, and then this big chunky damage, and you can kind of reposition. Very simple playstyle for self-cast that we're going to carry into early maps. I guess come to the stream and see when we officially swap over to CoC, because it's going to be soon. Sooner rather than later, if not just because I feel like it's going to be great for the league mechanic, and you just kind of can get away with it earlier with some nice boots, especially if you can leave those boots unsocketed. But we'll see. Once we get into an actual cast on crit setup, we probably need a bit more in terms of, you know, full gearing. Quick look at the skill tree. I am going to upload a POB of what I currently have. We're headed towards a little bit more strength in ES here, as well as we can hop into influence. And then I'm not really sure, probably just a bit more damage nodes over here, like Divine Judgment, and then maybe some Devotion, Sanctum of Thought, stuff like that. Maybe then we go into the Cluster Jewel when we're leveling. I don't know. Still got a lot of, you know, we have the base tree set up that we're in the parts of the tree that we like for the crit stuff and the spell stuff. So we're just going to play it by ear. Come by the stream, say hey, and tell me what you're doing for this league. There's a lot of stuff up in the air. Let me show you the Transfigured gems I got, just in case. I figured people might want to see that sort of shit. Do I have it in eBay? Where the hell did I put them? So I had the Ice Nova of Deep Freeze, which is kind of whack, unfortunately. And then I had the, where is it? You should be able to tell because they're a different color. But I guess I lost it. I also had some Eye of Winter. Maybe I am selling that one for, yeah, here it is. So the Eye of Winter is like the shitty Eye of Winter, where it's like, oh, you know how the good part of Eye of Winter is how it explodes at the end and shoots a bunch of projectiles? This one like doesn't have that. I think it's like much faster or something. Whatever, it's a shitty one. And then I got Isis Nova of Deep Freeze, which I at first was like, oh, it's so cool. Now I can use this Ice Nova instead. But let's compare. Do you see that line? Effectiveness of added damage 140%. Freeze enemies as though dealing 210% more damage. Maybe for a heat shiver setup or something, that's what you're using this for. But my effectiveness of added damage here is 230%. It's also a level 15 gem, so unfortunately Mr. Deep Freeze got the axe, as well as I have Winter of Transience. like I said, kind of bad luck. Let's put those for 4 chaos. I don't even think. I'm sure there's use cases for it, but my luck hasn't been so good. We'll see. I mean, like, are people really going to be running labs to do this sort of shit? It's interesting. We're in an interesting time for Path of Exile right now. So log in, leave a comment, say, hey, what's up? And let's do it. I will see you when I see you. Thanks for watching.